Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, October 9th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I center and find peace between me and the divine. Basically, that means find your peace in the divine. Keep connecting to the divine to help support peace within you in these intense times. So, lots going on in the world, lots going on in the astro. As of Sunday night, we have Venus shifting into Virgo, and so we're going to dig into that for today. As of this recording, it has not even shifted yet, so perfect timing. We'll dig into that. We are in our first eclipse week. Whew! Are we feeling this energy? This eclipse will be in Libra. And things may be a little pendulum-y this week as we build to this eclipse in Libra. We're still moving into the peak, as of this recording, of this Mars-Pluto square. So we're still feeling that energy in and through Monday, the tension of that. And we can see that in the world right now. And Pluto is going direct this week. Pluto's going direct. What else do we have? I know we have one more thing. Oh, and Mars. Mars is finishing up in Libra this week and moving into Scorpio. So there is a lot going on. And that is my encouragement. I personally feel that it's really hard to put into words what I personally feel. I personally feel that so much of war in the world is dictated by leaders and elites, and it is innocent people that fight and die. And truly, when it comes down to it, we're here to love one another. And war isn't the way to that. Not that it can be helped by us. Beyond us finding and seeking out where we carry hate, where we carry war, where we push against each other in violent, malicious ways. And the more we can seek out those places within us, the more we come to true peace within ourselves, the more that we'll see it outside. So in this case, there is a lot of taking sides, and my feeling is if you are cheering about innocent people and children being murdered, that you have to check in with yourself. That being said, there's a lot of information around the whole thing, and to me it's not necessarily about taking sides beyond a willingness not to back evil. So my washing machine agrees with me. So that's where I'm standing in this. And for now, our focus is just going to be on seeking out, working with these energies as best we can so that we can rise in love and peace as individuals as best we can and be that light in the world because it is so needed right now. So, that being said, let's dig in to this week. Let's start with Venus moving into Virgo. So as of 6:11 p.m. Pacific time, so still a few hours from now, now the recording may even be up before this actually shifts, we're going to have Venus moving into Virgo for about the next month, a little bit less than a month. Venus in Virgo. Virgo energy to me is about embracing our holiness. And Venus on one level is about worthiness. And so you're worthy in your wholeness, your holiness. Now, one of the downsides of anything in Virgo is digging into the critical nature of things. Being in that criticism, that space of criticism, being in that space of the wholeness isn't good enough. Imperfection isn't good enough. And we all stay in a state of imperfection, which is perfect, right? So with Venus in Virgo, to me, this is about digging into the wholeness. It's digging into ourselves, body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart, and loving ourselves there. Major self-care transit. This is a time to check in. Am I eating good foods? Am I eating enough of these good foods? Am I drinking enough water? Is it good water? Am I taking time for my mental health? Am I taking time for my emotional health? Am I taking time for my spiritual health? And aligning in these ways, even if just by taking baby steps. But watch for where you find yourself criticizing yourself. Because like I said, Venus can bring up the worth stuff. And a lot of us have worth issues based on ideas of perfectionism, which is that it is an idea. It is not a fact. It's not even a real thing, truly, because what even is perfect? So this is a time where we can dig in and really love on ourselves. Now, the other thing is noticing that reflection of that critical nature on others and see where we may bestow that on others in our lives. Something that I find really interesting, I really feel like children have, before they're messed with the world, a really great idea of what they actually need. And then parents come in and be like, no, you need this, you need that. That was my experience. And I feel like if my child had been listened to, my inner child, part of that Venus and Leo energy, if it had been listened to, it would have been easier for me to be healthy as a child. So this is a reminder to tune into that divine nature. This is why we have Leo before Virgo, to bring in that child as inner child as part of our holiness, and listen to those pieces. And it's not the child that's like, I want ice cream, which is fine and cool, but it's the part that's like, oh, I really need like a cucumber. That was my thing when I was little. It was cucumbers. I always wanted cucumbers. I always needed them. And I think that it was my inner knowing being like, hey, this is what you need for healing. Venus and Virgo, we can tap into that. It's getting outside of that judgment of I know better and being willing to listen to that wholeness, to that state, but being able to hold that energy for others, because everybody has that divine chord where they can tap in. So keep that in mind with Venus and Virgo. Now, Venus will make its first connection to Saturn. Saturn in Pisces today. Saturn is hanging out right at 1 degree. As I'm looking at this chart, I'm looking at the really early morning chart. It may actually head back to 0 degrees today. I do believe Venus will meet with Saturn at 1 degree, though. So, yeah. I think it's staying at 1 degree till like the late hours. Oof. 0 degrees Saturn this week for us as well. Whew. What a week. Anyway, Venus opposite Saturn, it can bring up some deep relationship stuff, whether it's your relationship with the divine, its relationship with others, your relationship with the world. Just know this energy, and we're going to be feeling that building all through Monday. There's a balance between reality and the world, and also the divine unfolding. And I think this goes back to the energy mantra. Where can you connect in to that divine that is going to help support us moving through all of this intensity? Besides that, today we have the moon in Leo. Moon in Leo is like, come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Gotta love one another. Thank you to the Mimi Jukebox for that. We have an incoming yod focused on that Leo moon. It's kind of focused on Lilith in Leo right now. And it's reminding, like, sometimes love is a revolutionary act. And it's one of the fingers of God. This is important. See where you can carry that love vibe to help, again, be the light in the world right now. If you can be that light, because when things like this happen, it lays a very heavy blanket over all of us. Besides this today, Sun and Moon connecting, Moon and Uranus. Oof, a Moon and Uranus. Moon and Uranus square as well today. And like I said, the last day of Pluto retrograde. Pluto goes direct tomorrow. So Pluto's having its last retrograde hurrah at 27 degrees. If you have a planet at 27 degrees in your chart, check in with that and see if there are changes you are being called to make, seeing if there's places that you're being called to empower within yourself. That Moon Uranus energy feels very triggery but I'm happy to say that I do have a breakthrough card. So if you are feeling triggered by anything, just recognize there is breakthrough. Face the trigger. Stop running from it. Face it. And see where you can bring love. I do have the Outsider, that inner child card, hanging out in this energy. So like I said, that may be part of this Venus in Virgo energy, especially that Venus has spent so much time since June in Leo, bringing that inner child energy forth, that you may need to tune into that energy of the inner child as part of your whole holy self to help guide you through this Venus transit. And it could give you a new attitude. I've got a new attitude is what I just heard with the Fool card. We also have the Traveling card, which means we're making strides. I think that goes hand in hand with that Breakthrough card. Watch for those triggers coming up. What is it that sets you off? Look at that. And you don't blame the thing that's setting you off. Instead, you tend to the wound within yourself, and that's how we get traveling. That's how we release our baggage. Final card is Receptivity. Venus is going to be at 0 degrees today. 0 is 0. It's not a fun degree. You may feel a little offline, especially when it does come to the love vibe, and yet for yourself and for others, it is needed so much right now. If you're not being receptive, at least try not to be super aggressive. That's what I will say in that energy. And watch. As Mars is finishing up in Libra over the next few days, it moves late in the evening on Wednesday, early Thursday for some. As Mars finishes up, notice where war in yourself is seeping out and in aggressive energy to others, and see where you can work to bring peace to that war within yourself and to those places where it spreads to others. As I say that, it is 5:55. So this song has been in my head since yesterday, since I woke up to all of the news, and it's from my Catholic days. And I keep forgetting the exact words, but like, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And then it just keeps going on that. But like that line specifically, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And then I really like the mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavanto, which means may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And that always has spoken to me. So I'm leaving us with those sentiments. Feel free to reach out, book a reading this week. It is our last week if you want to get in for both eclipse readings. I am sending you all love, light, peace from my heart to yours in this. It's not a very good heart. There we go. And besides all this, the better it gets. Truly, hold that in your hearts. There is more than enough love in the world for us. You have the power, and remember who you are. You are love. You are light incarnate. Namaste.